Looky here, Hometown Church. This here is the book of Galatians. It's a great letter by Paul to the church in Galatia. Have you read it lately? It's really a great book. It is in so many ways, and if you know it, it will change your life, guaranteed. Now, I have an announcement to make. I'm going to be doing an online study of the book of Galatians starting October 5th on Monday nights, 7 p.m. for 8 straight weeks. Let me say that again so that you can punch this into your smartphone right now. I'd like to do an online study of the book of Galatians starting October 5th on Monday nights, 7 p.m. for 8 straight weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. Now that's the new news. The old news is that COVID-19 has changed how we do church. But COVID-19 has not only changed how we do church, it's changed the whole world. And some of the changes that have happened are going to be permanently part of this landscape because of this pesky little virus. For instance, more meetings have been conducted by Zoom, and if you're in the business world, you know all about that. More people are going to be permanently working from home. Online services, delivery services are valued more. And because of that, even real estate values are going to start changing. All sorts of changes are hitting the landscape because of that virus. And the change that's occurred at Hometown is no different. You know, we're going to be permanently changed too. Our online services have been upgraded. And while there are pros and there are cons, whether there are advantages and disadvantages of online church, there's one distinct advantage: convenience. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to dress up or put on makeup. We don't have to get recruiting volunteers for hosting the service and providing childcare. So with that in mind, we'd like to experiment with something. You know, historically, we've offered special classes or seminars from time to time during the midweek, and this has been true more at Bloomington than the other locations. So as an experiment, we'd like to offer a special class on Monday nights as a webinar, a study through the book of Galatians. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to dress up or put on makeup on, and the church doesn't have to rally volunteers for hosting the service or providing childcare. This is going to be a quick 45 to 60-minute talk and fielding questions through text or a webinar format. So it's going to be somewhat interactive. And this is the real topper here. It's going to help your desire for more in-depth expository teaching. The book of Galatians is an important little book. It goes to the very root of our joy in walking in the Spirit, and it describes 2 basic ways to God. Here's the first basic way: I obey, therefore I'm accepted by God. The second way, which really goes to the heart of our motivation: I'm accepted by God through Jesus Christ, therefore I obey. Now those are 2 different ways to God, 2 different sets of motivation. One is successful and the other isn't. And if you boil away all the world's religions, all of man's philosophies, all our own thinking about how to relate to God, and you boil it down in a pot on the stove until nothing's left, then this is what's left. Only 2 ways to God. Now, what are those 2 ways again? I obey, therefore I'm accepted by God. Secondly, I am accepted by God through Jesus Christ, therefore I obey. Those are 2 very different ways, putting you on 2 different paths. Of course, the first way is the way of religion. That's the way of self-effort, and that's what religion is. It's just self-effort in a religious guise or dress. The second way is the gospel. And Christians fall back into the first way all the time, and that's what happened to the Galatians. In fact, Paul writes this to the church right there in chapter 1. He says, I am shocked that you're turning away so soon from God, who called you to himself through the loving mercy of Christ. You are following a different way that pretends to be good news, but is not good news at all. You see, the Galatians turned their Christianity into religion, and we do that all the time. Religion is about everything what you can do, whereas the good news is all about what God has done. Religion leads you to subtly worship yourself. while the good news leads you to worship Jesus Christ. Religion leads you into one of two places. Self-effort leads you to one of two places. You either are led into pride because you're having a good day that day, and so you're feeling really good about yourself, or it can lead you to discouragement because some days you don't do so good and your performance isn't so great, and so you get discouraged about yourself. So self-effort leads to one of those two places. But the good news always leads you to joy. You know, religion is devoid of the Spirit, but the good news is where the Spirit fills. This is why there's so much talk in Galatians chapter 5 about the Holy Spirit. Religion and self-effort is where our flesh takes us naturally, and we're just pulled there all the time. But when we do drift there, our joy, our gladness, our freedom, our love, and a life filled with the Spirit just dribbles slowly right through the cracks in the floor. So let's return back to the joy of our salvation by working through Galatians together. So again, one more time, I'd like to do an online study of the book of Galatians starting October 5th on Monday nights, 7 p.m. for 8 straight weeks. Let me say that again so you can punch this into your smartphone and write into your calendar right now. I'd like to do an online study of the book of Galatians starting October 5th on Monday nights, 7 p.m. for 8 straight weeks. And this will be later recorded, and you can also view it on demand. But I think it'll be more exciting if you just got on right then and interacted with some of the folks that you know at Evergreen or at Hometown. Did I say Evergreen? I meant at Hometown. Anyway, habits are hard to break. Aloha, Hometown. See you Monday nights starting October 5th. Bye-bye.